Come on, finish. Hello, guys. Welcome to Rex Arthur TV. This is the Rex Arthur Show, the LGBTQ channel that discusses LGBTQ issues with an LGBTQ perspective and a humanistic approach. And today, we are doing the LGBTQ website of the week, and it is Kuchu Times. Kuchu Times is a Ugandan LGBTQ website, and it has been in the front line of the struggle for LGBTQ rights in Uganda and Africa. And we're very happy to host them. I dare say, to join in. I'm very happy to have been part of this, the setup of this media platform. I pass my thanks and gratitude to the leaders in Uganda, Bombastic Kasha and Richard Lusimbo and Frank Mugisha, and the rest of the gang that is standing for LGBTQ rights in Uganda and East Africa and Africa. And so we are very happy that despite the struggles Ugandan LGBTQ persons go through, they have managed to continue, press on, despite the horrific climate they work in. It is thoroughly homophobic, and you can even go mad. Yes, can go crazy because of what happens there. And of course, every country has its own climate, and there is what you call, societal or social climate. And the social climate in Uganda, especially when it comes to LGBTQ issues, is a bit very harsh, very harsh climate, because homophobia is state-sponsored. There are some countries where homophobia is not state-sponsored. The state is not homophobic. So in such an area or in such a country, you only deal with homophobia amongst people in the society and individuals. But if you live in a country whereby the state takes sides, in becoming homophobic, then you're really, really in a very harsh environment. And this is why some Ugandans are refugees and have been resettled in various parts of the world, running away from the persecution that takes place in that country. So please continue supporting and helping LGBTQ refugees, especially those in Uganda, those who are from Uganda. They have gone through a lot, and some of them are still in Uganda and they go through a lot. But thankfully, you should also support the LGBTQ organizations in Uganda that are keeping the LGBTQ persons in Uganda safe. They're doing the best they can, even despite the persecution they face. So if you are an organization in the West or an individual anywhere in the world, even Asia, you should also be involved in helping LGBTQ persons in areas where they face distress. So, of course, we know there are very many websites very many organizations that are helping Ugandan LGBTQ persons. So, that is now, what do they have? Let's look at the website. It has news, opportunities, events, media, TV, radio, gallery. Yeah, this is also what I plan to do with Rex Arthur Towers or the Rex Arthur Center. We will have our TV station, our radio station. It is good to communicate. We are always communicating, every day. We are always passing information, teaching people. And this is a very good thing that Kuchu Times has done. Our voices, our stories, our lives. And they have good story here. The story is India strikes down Section 377 as Uganda moves to retable anti-gay bill. Wonderful. India, are you seeing this? This is two stories here. These are two Commonwealth, a tale of two countries. A tale of two Commonwealth countries. One Commonwealth country has struck down the law, the colonial law that criminalized homosexuality, and another country not only wants to keep the colonial law but wants to write it wants to write its own homophobic law. It's ridiculous, but that's what is happening in Uganda. And what I can see and say, this is a sign that Uganda, the Commonwealth, is a divided organization of countries, especially when it comes to homosexuality. And the only way to solve this issue is to have enough dialogue, governmental dialogue, on how to deal with these issues, because Uganda has to come up and understand the importance of recognizing LGBTQ persons. You see, you cannot say you're fighting HIV and you have LGBTQ persons. You cannot force people to abstain from sex when both heterosexuals and homosexuals are engaging in sex. You cannot call for abstinence in a society whereby 60% of the population is less than 20 years old. So this is the predicament Uganda is in right now. And they shouldn't go the way of homophobia because it doesn't work. You cannot oppress a culture in the name of it is not in line with our culture. So this is what we have been telling people in Uganda, and we'll continue telling them, that you would rather go the way of India, like how India has already struck down the law, the draconian law that is anti-human rights, and they have done it with ease despite also opposition from very many quarters. So Uganda should borrow a leaf from India. Otherwise, the LGBT communities in Uganda, if they organize themselves well, can actually sue the government of Uganda, even internationally, for not understanding the magnitude of recognizing and protecting LGBTQ persons in a country. So that is, the Ugandan government better stand warned, because it is a human rights issue. LGBTQ persons are humans. Yes, we are humans and we deserve our human rights. As I've told you, you cannot oppress a culture. It nears genocide. It's a virtual genocide, because you are attacking a certain group of people that belong to a community. And LGBT community is a community, just like a tribal community. You see why Nazism was a very horrendous crime, that they went to the Nuremberg trial. The world tried the Nazis during the Nuremberg trials. They were tried. Why did they try them? Because they killed cultures, the Jewish culture and the gay culture. And you see, after that time, that's when the ICC was set up and all of these UN organizations. So basically, there is no room for a country to commit genocide the way the Nazis did, but you can do it in a virtual way, virtual genocide, meaning you don't kill them physically, but you kill them psychologically, and or you oppress them in such a way they cannot live their lives very well because of their identity. It's just imagine oppressing a Jew, telling a Jew you're not able to get a job because you're a Jew, you're not able to buy because you're a black person. Remember what happened in America? That's why I always tell the black Americans who don't really understand why we join LGBTQ rights to black rights, it's because it's common oppression. You are oppressing a person for who they are. That's wrong. Even whether they're gay or straight or black or white, if you oppress somebody for their identity, you are committing a crime. You're not supposed to oppress somebody for their identity. You take someone to court if they have committed a crime. And that's what governments are putting themselves in danger of. So anyway, Commonwealth has to do that. Okay, let's go on. The relevance of PrEP in the LGBTQ community. We're very happy about that. Each of us is prone to get caught up in situationships that can barely escape within our LGBT community and sex workers movement. A person decides to get involved in a committed sexual relationship with a partner that's already living with HIV or without being aware of the HIV status. Lovely article by this Sonia Karunji, and she is talking about the relevance of PrEP. Yes, it's very important for people to enroll on PrEP so that when they engage in sexual intercourse with an HIV positive person, they will not be infected. We will do a proper video about the success story of PrEP so far. I have witnessed it with my own eyes. Preppers who have had sex with HIV positive people, and they are still negative. So that is a plus for PrEP, especially those who are taking PrEP very well, adhering. And also, meanwhile, the HIV positive people are also taking their medicines very well and have reached a level called undetectable, meaning they cannot transmit HIV because the ARV has suppressed the virus in them. So we'll do a proper video about that next time. Now, this is still the news of India strikes down Section 377 as Uganda moves to retable. Uganda, oh no. And we know Lokodo is just another nuthead. He had to close down the annual Nyege festival, citing that the purpose of this festival has been compromised to accommodate the celebration and recruitment of young people in homosexuality. A very absurd but not isolated action by representatives of the Ugandan government. So you see, the government is so obsessed with gay sex. It's so obsessed. It's just... it's just interesting, but it has to end. It will end. And look at Lokodo's age. I'm beginning to think this is generational. These old people, majority of them don't understand homosexuality, and they need to go to school again and be taught about sex. Yes, I'm gonna do research on the education system and see what did these people teach our old parents in school. Did they really teach them good biology? Because I think they didn't. Because right now, biology is very clear. They are homosexuals. They are intersex people. They are transgenders. So, if you have the wrong biology, you will make the wrong biological decisions. You will make the wrong laws. You will make bad laws whenever you are legislating on biology. Do you know why Britain has not kept their homophobic laws? It's because they were based on bad biology. They even didn't know that men and women have the same hormones, sexual hormones. A man has female hormones just as a woman has male hormones. So what does that mean? We are intersexual. And this was never, it has just been known recently when people have done research and the microscope was created and the DNA and the helix was found. The helix was just found recently. Not even 100 years has passed. And the double helix has been found. So what does that mean? Science has been so distorted for thousands of years because of ignorance. And as we go on, we get better into science. So the biology our parents got was a bit distorted, and that's what has caused homophobia in the minds of Lokodo. and he cannot listen to a young person because he thinks a young person doesn't know. But that's wrong. Young people are even more intelligent in the sense that they understand the issue because they have now received the good biology. They now know it is possible that homosexuals are natural. It is true. They are natural. It is true that there are people who are born with two sexual organs, male and female. So such a person who has that knowledge cannot be homophobic, cannot be transphobic, and cannot be a hater of different people. So we hope this will be looked at. You can come and read this article. Ugandans are very nice writers. I love the writings by our fellow Ugandans. And Kuchu Shiners host inaugural social event. There you are. Kuchu Shiners on Friday 31st August 2018 hosted her very first social event. According to the executive director, Bukenya Musa Assad, this was geared towards contributing to the organization's visibility within the key populations community. Congratulations to Kuchu Shiners. Yes, this is, I think it's an event to recognize the work of people who work in the key populations community. There you are, more from the news sector. Sharia High Court in Malaysia sentences 2 women lashing over use of dildo. So sad. 2 women aged 32 and 22 in northern eastern state of Terengganu have pleaded guilty to having sex in a car with a dildo, according to the news outlet Sinar Harian. Despite the fact that the 2 women were released on bail, they were both given a fine of the Malaysian money. I think I've forgotten rials or something. No, I've forgotten the currency, and equivalent to £630, and sentenced to 6 lashings each by the Sharia. Can you imagine? What a world. This is so wrong. You know, how are you caning somebody for sex? They had sex in a car. You know, a car is a private entity. Nobody should even enter your car, even police. They only talk to you outside. Have you been stopped by police before? They don't come into the car. They call you out of the car. Yes, it's a private space, and even if it's a private space, sex is even more private. They were having sex in the car, so they were having sex. A car is not a public space. Only those who are in the car know what is happening in the car. So this is very wrong, and it is showing you how homophobia is still. Malaysia is also another very homophobic country, and it's so ironic. Malaysia is very developed, highly developed. It's making progress, and they are so homophobic. Even the opposition leader was accused of sodomy and arrested for it. You can imagine. I don't know. But one thing I know, the world is changing every day. And as I've told you, I think it's the poor biology teaching education. That the whole syllabus of biology needs to be revamped with the proper sexual education so that people can even understand how STDs, I don't remember, in my biology, I don't remember seeing a very elaborate section of STDs and STIs. I don't know. Some people may think that when you teach people about those things, they won't have sex. No, they should be told to have sex and be aware of the consequences, and then also have health care. You know, healthcare should be the number one priority in every country, so that even when people have sex and they get gonorrhea, you can go to the hospital with ease, whether you're gay or straight, and you get treatment. Yes, sex is good for your body. It is very good for your mind. And so, how can people or a very good activity? I don't know. sad. Okay. 57 arrested in Lagos. Suspicion of other country that is called Uganda, a small Nigeria. Everything is similar. The pastas, the vegetation, the music, the talented. They are very talented people in those countries. Very shrewd-minded. I always call Uganda small Nigeria. And now, guess what? Even when it comes to homophobia, Nigeria is no different from Uganda. In fact, it's worse. They treat the suspects like children. You know, they read out their names in public. And I wonder, is Nigeria a big school where there's a principal and the police are prefects? And they are prefects going to look for the noisemakers, and noisemakers are people who are not doing what they want the school, what the principal, and the noisemakers are those who are breaking the laws in the school or the school rules. Then when you get them, you start reading their name. James Ademole, Peter Abimola. I saw that and I was like, how do you know what you're doing to that person's mind? You are actually, for who he, is wrong. This time, I think international organizations like UN need to rise up and deal with governments that are perpetuating homophobia. You don't do that to people in public, because if you do, you are encouraging mob justice, which is even worse. Mob justice, the reason why we don't encourage mob justice, it can be abused. People can kill somebody who is innocent. Governments need to be very serious about what they do and how they deal with LGBT persons. So Nigeria is also in this problem. The suspects were arrested at a party, again, private place, Lagos nightclub, private, at around 2 a.m. on grounds that the party in which they were attenders was a gay homosexual initiation party. Excuse me, a club is a private space. You don't even go there without a search warrant. These people, they are police and they're not following the law. You have to, freedom, privacy, the right of privacy is in the law. And the freedom of association is in the law, in the Constitution. See? If I was the lawyer of these guys, I would just go and use the constitutional provisions, freedom of association, and the right to privacy. Where is the search warrant? Have you proved that that's what happened in the club? You see? We can go and make money in the courtroom. Yes. Okay, Rainbow Mirrors Uganda. Wow, look at that. Rainbow Mirrors Uganda. Let's read what they're about. Rainbow Mirrors evicted from Bunamwaya offices. Rainbow Mirrors, an organization that advocates for the rights and equality of transgender youth through enhancement of skills and talents, has had to temporarily shut down operations after being ordered by the landlord to vacate its premises. The offices that house the organization were located in Bunamwaya. Very sad. Again, this is transphobia affecting organizations, and we are very sad about this. This should not happen. You should allow people to meet. I've just told you, freedom of association is very vital. Please understand. I think I'm going to do a video about the freedoms, the constitutional freedoms. People need to understand the importance of it. Is a freedom of association. And the only time you will punish an association is when that association does something criminal. As an association, like murder. Murder. Have you seen associations? They are gangs which kill people. Those are associations that are arrested. You see? Those are the ones. Because murder, it takes away the right to life. When you've killed somebody, you have denied someone of the right to life. Now, but you cannot arrest an association that is based on consensual sex, because in sex, you're not violating any right, especially consensual sex. There is no right that is being violated, and therefore it is insignificant, and it is void to arrest people on the basis that they are an association of sexually different persons. I mean, consensual sex means freedom of choice. Is based on the freedom of choice and the freedom of association. Because freedom of association means I have the freedom to associate with whomever I want, even if it is one person. Freedom of association starts between two people. Two. And so what does that mean? When I meet a person and we sit down together and he says he likes me and I say I like him, and he says he even wants to have some fun with me, and I say, okay, it's possible. That is freedom of association. There is no right being violated. So you can't arrest me because of agreement, consensual agreement. But I have never agreed with somebody to come and kill me. You see, that is why you arrest associations that violate constitutional rights. Oh, so that's Uganda for you. Let people know that that's what's happening in Uganda. Mandela at 100. Kenyan rights group honored as one of the 100 sparks of hope. As the world celebrated Nelson Mandela's 100th birthday, a Kenyan organization working to secure rights for gay and lesbian people was recognized as one of 100 sparks of hope, carrying on Madiba's legacy of freedom. You see, freedom. The National Gay and Lesbian Human Rights Commission, NGLHRC, was named as Sparks of Hope nominee or winner. So congratulations to the National Gay and Lesbian Human Rights Commission based in Kenya for being a spark of hope. Yes, Mandela stood for freedom. That is why the South African Constitution is one of the only constitutions in the whole world that recognizes sexual orientation as an identity worthy of being recognized and protected. Congratulations, Mandela. We know you are forever honored, forever lifted high in the world's hall of fame, world leaders hall of fame. There is no greater leader than Mandela Africa has ever had, and we praise him forever. Why? He understood humanity, Ubuntu. That is humanity. You see, he understood that I am because you are. Whether you're gay or straight, black or white, poor or rich, we are because you are. We are together in this. We are in one world. Therefore, we are one. Ubuntu. And opinion. So they also have room for opinion. It is time for reflection and re-evaluation as a movement. Of course, very nice. I'm going to read this article, but this is quite old, July 11th. Every LGBT person I know is aiming to achieve equal treatment and fairness from the rest of the society. However, we are making a mockery of our struggle through in-house prejudice and discrimination against each other. Yes, of course, what I can tell this guy is we have to understand that we are in organizations, and just like humans make mistakes, organizations also make mistakes, and mistakes will also be made in interrelational situations. And yes, there's in-house prejudice and discrimination, and the many ways of reducing it is by having frequent meetings, frequent discussions with one another to iron out the issues. Because you have to understand, everybody has a different background from which they came from. Some people came from a background that was not so homophobic. Others came from a very homophobic background. Now, what happens is, when you're now in the movement, you come together because all of you are LGBTQ, but you come with your different backgrounds, and some backgrounds clash with another background that is found in the movement, and this is what causes some misunderstandings. So some of the ways to break this is to teach people. You know, in a movement, organizations should have monthly discussions on monthly reconciliation days, whereby you come and meet and we come and iron out issues or where we disagree. Of course, there are some things we will never agree on. It's a fact. Like some people like nylon boxers and others like cotton boxers. So, I mean, forever you'll be arguing about that. It's like some people like spicy food and others don't. And then you want to force them to like spicy food because you like it. No, you can't do that. So you have to learn how to live with differences. And that's what I think. So this seems to be a prophetic person talking. Swaziland holds first Pride Festival. Congratulations, Swaziland. Eswatini now is called. And the photos are there. Turn hate into love. Yes, let's look at that. Wow, beautiful flag. Eswatini, as I told you. Look at the colors of people. Black, white, Asian, all together. Let's turn hate into love. Congratulations, Swaziland. Keep the fire burning. Let the colors live. Every color must continue to shine. Have you noticed the rainbow is formed from light? It is light, and it's diverse light. Red is light. Red light, orange light, yellow light, green light, blue light. Oh, thank you.